Hi students, my name's Mr. Beverly. Most of you know me. Some of the sixth graders got to see me last fall. So I'm excited to be here to help the orchestra and the band do the spring fundraiser to raise money for your needed departments. And Mr. Moore will go over it, what you need the money for and where it's going. Mr. Langston will go over for the band, and everybody will be educated as to why we're doing this fundraiser. But I'm going to tell you toward the end of my presentation here on this video what's in it for you. And there's some cool stuff for you guys for participating in this fundraiser. But the first thing that you're going to have to do with Mr. Moore or Mr. Langston is to go over this form where you print your name. We're not going to do it now. They will go over it after my presentation before you get your paperwork to take home. But you have to put in black or blue ink. You must use a black or blue ink pen. Press hard, bear down, and then you're going to put in capital letters all the information on this form. And they will go over that with you after my 15-minute presentation here on this video. So I'm not going to take the time to do that now, but this is important that you do this in black or blue ink. And Mr. Moore and Mr. Langston will go over you step by step how to fill this out. You will receive in your big fundraising packet envelope that you get today that has that order form in it, a really beautiful catalog called Sweet and Salty. And when you look inside, you're going to see some delicious chocolate candy. And here's what's fun about this page. Every item on this page sells for $7. That's it, $7. So we'll go over the back of the catalog in a second, but let me just show you a few of the items. We have dark chocolate coconut dreams. It's chocolate, dark chocolate candy with coconut inside, and the dark chocolate enrobes the delicious tropical coconut. We have that. Then we also have another item in dark chocolate called the sea salt caramels. And it's the same way, but it's got big chunks of natural sea salt on the top of every piece of chocolate that comes in the box. That's delicious as well. Then we have a new item that's cookie dough. It's little chunks of cookie dough inside some caramel and some candy called cookie dough dots. How many of you like eating raw cookie dough? Okay, if you do, you're going to love the cookie dough dots because it's nice big chunks of chocolate around the cookie dough inside the middle of the candy. So that's a really delicious item as well. We also have some chocolate covered with caramel all around it, pecans. They're called pecan backs. So you're going to be selling those. Again, everything is $7, same price on everything. And then the last item on the first two pages is, or actually not the last item, but one of the next to last items is peanut butter bears. They're little cute bears. You can see them in the catalog. And inside the bears, it's delicious whipped peanut butter. So they're nice and smooth and gooey. So if you like chocolate and peanut butter, you're going to love that. And then the last item on the catalog is a nice bag of chocolate covered almonds. These are all the chocolate items and the nut items, but lots of nuts, coconuts, sea salt, dark chocolate, everything for everybody that likes either milk chocolate or dark chocolate or both. They're here. And then on the back, we have some delicious bags of popcorn. I'm showing them up here for you. All kinds of delicious flavors. And the first one and the #1 seller is buttery caramel. No matter where you go, if you go to a carnival, you go to a fair, you go to a street side event where they're selling popcorn, they'll always be selling buttery caramel or caramel corn, and it's always the #1 seller no matter where you go. Same thing on our catalog. Then we have another new item this year called the 3 cheese. You can imagine having all kinds of delicious cheeses that are mixed in along with the popcorn. And then here's what's cool about our process with the Poppin' Popcorn Company that you guys sold last year. This popcorn and all the ingredients are popped in the kettle or mixed in the kettle so it comes out, and it's not just a shaken powder. It's really the ingredients, real cheese that's popped in with the popcorn and the oil when they pop the popcorn in big kettles. Then we have Chicago style, and I want to tell you the history of Chicago style. In Chicago, there's a famous street called Rush Street, and on one side of the street is nothing but popcorn factories and popcorn stores. And then on the other side, it has hot dog stores, and they have a really famous, delicious hot dog, and of course they sell French fries and all that too. I hope I'm making you hungry this morning and today. At any rate, yeah. Well, I took a tour about 25 years ago when I went to a music event called the Midwest National Band and Orchestra Festival, and while I was there, some friends of mine and I went over to Rush Street, got a hot dog, and we took a tour of a popcorn factory. And they were telling the history of the Chicago style popcorn, where they were in a big room, guys were making buttery caramel on one side of the factory in a big 1,000-gallon kettle, and on the other side a guy was making cheesy cheddar. And they both accidentally spilled their popcorn onto the floor. And I don't know who started first. I think the buttery caramel guy made a mistake and spilled his, and the other guy did too. So all this popcorn's on the floor. So the boss came out and said, man, you got to shovel this stuff up and get rid of it. We got to get it out of here. So while they were shoveling stuff on the floor, the stuff that was on the top that was mixed together, half cheddar, half caramel, they were eating it. And the employees that were sweeping and shoveling this stuff up went bonkers over how good that flavor is together. So the boss said, okay, we're going to start selling that, and then we're going to call it Chicago style, because that's where it was invented. But the last item on the catalog is my favorite, the cheddar jalapeno. If you like, how many of you like hot things? Okay, it's awesome. It is awesome. So here's what my wife liked to do. My wife and I like to do. We like to take a bag of cheddar jalapeno and a bag of buttery caramel and put them together. And oh my goodness, is that some good stuff? Is that some really good stuff? So we like that. So what you'll be doing, you'll be sharing the catalog over the next 2 weeks with everybody that you know and trust. No strangers, but everybody you know and trust. And when they want to buy, you ask them to give you cash or a money order. Now, it's possible that it's a close family member that might order several things that totals up to $40 or $50. And then they could write your parents a check, and your parents can deposit it into their bank account and make one money order out to Millennium Middle School, because we can't take checks here at the school. So you have to get people to give you cash, and your parents and you convert that at Scott. Any store will do it for free. And sometimes you can just pay 50 cents at Walmart and get a money order. But before you turn everything in 2 weeks from now, you'll have to get a money order to turn in for this, or cash. You can turn in the cash, but I recommend once you get several people to buy for cash and they give you cash, don't carry it around. Just give it to your parents, and then they can convert it into one big money order for all of your fundraising items. Because on the order form and on the envelope, there's an amount where you put total amount collected. That total amount must equal the money order that you turn in 2 weeks once this fundraiser is over. Mr. Moore and Mr. Langston will give you that deadline. They'll be announcing everything, and of course they'll be letting you know and reminding you. They'll be reminding you about when the fundraiser is over, and they'll give you a few days warning, I'm sure. And then I know you guys have events coming up. You got MPA coming up, but be sure to share all of the delicious chocolates and all the delicious popcorn with everybody you know and trust. And here's the beautiful part. To make it easy for you on this fundraiser, 6 of the items on the catalog are $7. The other 4 bags of popcorn are $10. So it's really, really simple. $7 or $10. So it makes it real simple for you. Don't worry about the tax. That's all squared away with the bookkeeper here at school. So at any rate, we're covered with that. Remember to see everybody, because there's a lot of people that you know, your parents know, that like to eat. I had a student turn in an order a couple weeks ago, that had like 56 items on the catalog. And when I talked to the directors, happened to be a chorus teacher at that school, the chorus teacher said, Oh, her mom works at the hospital. And she sold a lot to all the people that work at the hospital, and doctors and nurses and people that came in. And I don't know if she sold any patients, but she sold a lot for her student that was in chorus at that school. So let your parents take it. How many of you do events and activities outside of Millennium? Take it there. Take it to church. Everywhere you go, let people know about your fundraiser, and you'll do great. You'll do great. And just keep in mind this. If you ask people, would you help me please on this fundraiser, you'll have much better success than if you just said, would you buy some candy? Would you buy some popcorn? You know, if people don't know you're in the Millennium Orchestra or the Millennium Band, let them know that, and then say, we're having this special fundraiser for. Mr. Moore's going to tell the orchestra what their money's going for. Mr. Langston's going to tell the band what their money's going for. So relay that message to your customers. Then when you get that message out, hand them the catalog and say, would you help me please on this fundraiser? And you'll have great, great success. Now, who thinks in the next 2 weeks you could sell 5 of the chocolate items that only sell for $7, or 5 of the popcorn? Just total of 5. And I'll tell you this, boys and girls, you're going to mostly sell the chocolate. If you sell 5 items, you're going to sell 3 chocolates and probably 2 popcorns, or maybe 4 chocolates and 1 popcorn. How many of you think you can do 5 in the next 2 weeks? Okay, cool. Well, then you get to get a very special prize. Look at that. Are you excited? Oh, some of you may have seen this before. I may have given some out before, but I've never given this many out because everybody can do 5. But here's what's cool. People are going to say, what is it, a toilet? And you have to say, no, it's not a toilet. It's a secret toilet. Yes, a secret toilet. And then they'll say, what does it do? And you say, what do you think it does? Or you can say, it's a secret. And then finally, they'll keep bugging you so much, you'll say, well, come here, come close, come close. And then when they come close, this is what you do. You let them have it with some water. You let them have it with some water so you can have fun with that and squirt all of your friends with your secret toilet. Just for selling 5, but how many of you think in the next 2 weeks you could sell 10 of the fundraising items? Remember, 6 of the 10 items on your catalog are just $7. How many of you think you can sell 10? Okay, cool. Well, when you do, you get to go into my magic bag, and here's how it works. You have to stand with, when I bring the magic bag over to school in about 3 or 4 weeks, once the fundraiser's over, I'll bring the bag. You have to close your eyes and say, I want big money. That's the magic words. And you put your hand in there. You pull out a card. There's lots of cards in there. Look at that, lots of cards. You pull out a card, and yours might say 19. Well, what does that mean? Let me show you what that means. Let me show you what that means. Let me show you. Okay, you get to come up to the prize board, and you get to flip up number 19, and under 19 it says $20. And I'm going to hand you a $20 bill, okay? So how many of you think you could sell 10 more to get to pull another number? Okay, quite a few. I see hands there, okay? So you get to pull out another number, and this time maybe it's number 9, okay? So what do? We go over here to the board, and we flip up number 9, and it says $50. $50, okay? So every time you pull out a number, you get to go into the bag, or every time you sell 10, rather, I'm sorry. Every time you go sell 10, you get to pull out another number. This number happens to be number 3. Let's go over here on the board and see what's underneath card number 3. Look at that, $100. Who would like to take a Benjamin home with you? And this fundraiser is so easy, and you'll sell so much, we could give a lot of those $100 bills away, but it's depending on you. The more you as an orchestra or band sells, the more of those Benjamins are going to be given away. So remember, Sell 5 for your secret toilet. That's just going to be fun. Okay, sell 10. You get to go into my magic bag and remember what the magic words are. I want big money. And you pull a number out, and whatever your number is, you get to go on the board. There's another 3, okay? So that's how it works. And we're going to get started today now that you've seen the video. Remember Mr. Moore, Mr. Langston, to go over the order form and have them fill that out. But do that after you've seen the video, please, boys and girls. So I want to thank you again for letting me come and work with your groups. And I know with the crazy schedule with MPA and Solon Ensemble and all the stuff coming up, we had to do it this way this time. But you can be just as effective as if I were there talking to you personally, because it would be the same message. So I can't wait to see the results. So have fun, be safe, and good luck. And don't forget, would you help me, please? Thank you, boys and girls.